Hi, and welcome to this series of short conversations. I'm Teresa Norton of StarMaker. I'm a senior executive coach, and I'm joined by my dear friend and colleague, Ricky Nowak, who is based in Melbourne. I'm in Hong Kong, and we're having these conversations looking at the challenges that our coaching clients bring to us and asking one another, how would you handle that?
I want to pose one to you, Teresa, and it's about my client who is a senior executive with one of Australia's largest banking institutions who's delivering well above his KPIs. He is a dynamic go-getter with a big personality, huge personality. He doesn't hold back when giving feedback. In fact, he doesn't hold back at all. And he gives sometimes too many comments too often in a way that's maybe just too, if you get what I mean. However, as a result of COVID, what he's finding right now with everybody under pressure to adapt to new ways of working, and of course no one's in the office anymore, he feels that he's getting feedback from his staff now to say that the challenges that he's presenting them are just a little bit too much, too hard, and a little bit unfair. They're telling him they feel undermined, and he feels like that he can't be honest. He wants to. They feel that he's judging them all the time. He's not handling it well, and for the first time in his life, he's getting a taste of his own style. Not so nice. So, Teresa, my question to you is, how would you handle that one?
Well, you know, as a woman with a pretty big personality myself, I think that's probably worked for him and got him where he is today. But there are probably blind spots that he's got. And, I think the pressures of COVID and all of this change, this new way of working with teams and the need for agility really demands that that leaders cultivate more trust with their teams. What my suggestion is, my son and I have been doing workshops around this about getting this guy to create smaller teams within his larger team and tasking them with problem solving. I would probably start him off because of his, it sounds like he might have some difficulties in letting go of the reins, that he wants to stay in control. So I would probably introduce some improv theater exercises, because improvisers have to learn to live within a construct of uncertainty. And while there's no play to rehearse, there are only just games that you play to build the muscles to be able to take what you're given and use it effectively and solve problems in real time. So I think he would benefit a lot from being exposed to some of these improv games. I think it would help build his confidence in handing over some of the responsibility to his teams and not having to challenge them quite so frequently. One of the things that he sounds like he's very high on drive, which again probably has served him and got him where he is today. But he may need to, look at whether or not he's taking the time to appreciate where he is right now. Working with leaders who are super high on drive and achievements, one of the things that they lose is gratitude and appreciation for where they are right now. And I'm sure that with his team going through all of this disruption, there are many things that he can be grateful for, that his team are doing just fine right now. It sounds like he's maybe a little low on tact. Most people who are very direct feel like they're just telling it like it is. And I think, again, I've mentioned this before, I think role play with actors to help him get some real-time feedback on how he's coming across would be helpful. I think that with that larger-than-life-size personality, look, giving feedback regularly can be a great thing. It's not holding back on feedback. It's how are you packaging that feedback? And I like to concentrate on 3 C's, clear, consistent, and constructive. And it sounds like maybe he could use a little coaching around how to take his messages and make them a little bit more constructive. So listen, that is pretty much how I would handle it, Ricky.
So big messages for a big personality, and that is absolutely critical as a coach. And for those of you who are listening, you might say, gee, I can identify with some of those personalities, and maybe I've got one of those personalities too. So it's just making some changes, but being really focused. And yet how important it is to have that mirror, and improv gives us that mirror. So I love the idea of improv theatre as a way to develop comfort with uncertainty, especially in these new times where people are so unfamiliar with that. And the second thing that I heard, it really resonated with me, is for us to actually empower our teams with decision-making capability and decision-making accountability by giving them more ownership and empowering them. This is a way that you can complement all sorts of personality styles and people will feel more in touch. But your close on letting him have some feedback that is clear, consistent, and constructive is for me the key message that I've heard you say. And I think that doesn't matter what style that you or I coach in, you can't go past the importance of clarity in the way in which people receive and give their messages. So that is really what underpins what I'm hearing for big and not so big personalities. And just by sharing some of the things that you've done, I think it's making me rethink and go back to some of the things that we've all done in the past but maybe could redo again. And that's really the purpose of our short conversations that we're having now with each other and with those of you who are listening. So to adopt and adapt from each other and to learn from each other is so important. And we encourage you to learn from us but also learn from each other, and we want to learn from you as well. So how would you handle different situations? Let us know. Join in the conversation so we can all be richer and create more engaging workplaces where people are more authentic and have the ability to connect. Join in the conversation below. Let us know what you're doing and what's working and some of the stuff that may not be perfect, because this is all the better way for us to get there. So join in. We serve by sharing, and we learn too by listening to you.